Welcome back to Dan's Messy Garage. This is going to be part 25, the 71 Comet with the engine problems. I'm going to attempt to put the water pump on. I've got the bolts that I need. I should be able to just slap it up on there. Let's find out. I've got some Bright Stuff silicone RTV. Just going to smear it around water area passage areas. I mean, they got a gasket all the way around here, but the only water should be here and there. So there's no need to seal any of that stuff. I'm sure people do, but not needed. Yeah, put a little bit on the water pump. Spread that around. This is super thin. It's not going to be interfering with the flow of the water. This doesn't even guarantee it's leak free because there's a gasket between this plate and the pump. I'm not taking that apart. I'm assuming that that's going to be okay. All right, that feels good and smooth. Set this up there. There is a bypass hose that's got to go on there too. I'll get that later. I'll get the pump in position first. And the hose. Now I'll put that hose on last. Snug these up gently. A wrench on this one. Now I'm going to need a ratchet to put these on by hand because I don't want to use that gun to strip them. They look like they're just soft bolts. Some are just going into the aluminum timing cover, so you don't want to give those a lot of torque. You strip the cover. Okay, that's about as tight as I want to make those. Check this one here. Okay. Just gonna put that hose on. Excuse me. All right, that went on pretty easy. I got to put this lower pulley on here. Let's see, those are going to be 9/16. I'm going to get another socket. I just noticed something. Maybe you guys noticed it before too. You may have been yelling at the camera trying to get my attention, but I forgot a long bolt over here on this side. Let me take care of that right now. There. It doesn't fit in there real well. This should. Yep. Now I gotta figure out what's next. There's not a lot else I can put on. I just put this alternator bracket on here. Bracket over on this side goes to power steering pump. And then there is a bracket bolts to the head here, the air conditioner. Might have to wait, put that on when it's in the car. So this bracket bolts right to the water pump. Now, couldn't use that other water pump with the inlet on the passenger side because there wasn't any place on it to bolt this bracket. So this car has to have the inlet on the driver's side. Let me take a peek at this other air conditioner bracket here. Yeah, this goes to the head, and the compressor bolts on it. I seem to recall it's not real easy to get to these bolts when it's in the car, and these are doable. So I'm going to leave that for when we put it in. Something else we can do before we put it in is get this driver's side header on. Of course, I can't do that right now because I don't have the gaskets. I have the gaskets on order, but they may not be here until Monday, and today's Friday. It won't be long for you guys because I'm going to turn the camera off and I'll turn it back on when we do go put the headers on. The header gaskets arrived. I'm going to put driver's side header on. It's a real pain to get to that in the car. And just for fun, I'm going to coat these gaskets with a very thin layer of the right stuff. And bolt that header on. Gonna spread it around these ports. Yeah, I'll get it on both sides of the gasket, but I think for right this minute, I'm gonna do one side. Put on the header and kind of let it tack up. I got the header on the floor. Set that on there and kind of get the ports all centered. Bolt holes are big enough. That's not going to be an issue. I just want to make sure that it's not like overhanging a port. Right there seems good. I'm going to let that kind of tack up, push it down to seal it before I stick it on the engine. All right, have the header sitting down there, setting up. I'm going to smear a little bit around each port on the head. I can't do the passenger side because you got to put the engine in the car before the passenger header goes on. I mean, it's going to be a big enough pain in the butt to put the engine in with the driver's side header on, but I've done it before. Got different bolts. Some Allen head bolts and some that have like a 5/16 head on them. There's some advantages to putting these 5/16 headed bolts in where the pipe bends back. So I'm going to put these Allen headed bolts like on the front part of these three on this side. Because I only have 6 of these. Or wait, I might have more. Let me go look. I'll be right back. Because of where I have the engine positioned in front of the car, you're not going to be able to see a lot of this because I'm going to be in front of the cabinet. So I'm just going to shove this on there and bring you back in a couple minutes here. Driver's side header is bolted on. I torqued them up as hard as I can get them. I'm going to let it sit like that overnight. And then tomorrow, I'll torque them again because right now that gasket's getting compressed by all that force. I want to make sure it gets compressed as far as it's going to go. Then I'll tighten them up. My brother's on the way here, and we're going to start to put the engine in the car. I have the header bolted up and everything on the engine that I could put on now. And it's going to be a struggle, I'm sure, but we'll prevail. We have the engine in the car on the motor mounts. Trans lines are hooked up. Ground cables are hooked up for the battery. Next, we're going to be putting on the carburetor and the alternator. It's sitting over here on the battery tray. Got the power steering pump and the air conditioning compressor. Gas line's hooked up, but I gotta tighten that clamp. And the transmission mounts are in. Speedometer cable is in. Shift lever cable is not on yet. We're getting there. We got a lot done. Got the alternators hooked up, the wires are hooked up, batteries in, carburetor and gas line hooked up, power steering, air conditioning compressor. We still need to put the fan and the fan belts on. And we're starting to put some trans fluid in it. But I think we have enough hooked up that we can squirt some starting fluid in the carburetor and hit the key and see if it makes noise. Okay, one more time. It's pumping gas up to the carburetor, so it might stay running. All right, now you can try pumping it. Gonna run. Sounds good. Got a couple shock tower braces that need to go on there. Mick is cleaning them up, get all my garage dust off. But they go between the shock tower and the firewall. Okay, just got 3 nuts on the shock tower and 2 bolts up firewall area. And it's the same thing on the passenger side here. And then I'm going to slap on the fan belts, the fan shroud, and the radiator. Finally got the radiator in, the fan shroud tight. Mick is filling up the antifreeze now. And then it's going to be ready to start. And then we'll have to check the trans fluid when it's running and fill that up. Is that the second or third gallon?
Second.
Okay.
You think it'll take all 3?
It might.
Okay.
Close to it. Because it was totally empty. Fan belts are tight. I'm just looking around. I think we got everything underneath the car because the dry shaft's in. I mean, the shifter's hooked up. Yep, go ahead and start it. pressure?
60 pounds.
60?
Fit like 58.
All right, that's great. That's what it had last time, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have to put some more antifreeze in it and check the trans fluid. Sounds good though. To satisfy the rules of the road, you gotta drive open headers and without a hood on. Some wires hanging underneath the car that we're gonna have to strap up. Of course, Murphy, as soon as he got out of the driveway, there's cars going up down the street. He's turning around somewhere down there. Yeah, we got another car coming. That's like 3 cars in a minute. The street's not that busy. Uh-oh. I think he's stuck. Well, he's moving. He's got to find somewhere to turn around down there. Get stuck?
This does not like the snow. I had cars were behind me, so I had to pull over, and there's got a bunch of snow there.
Yeah, I heard you getting stuck down there.
Yeah, and then I went trying to find a place to turn around, and I was going to turn around in that street, but it was too much of a hill. I couldn't come backwards on the street, so I had to go down to the end and turn around somebody's driveway and come out. It does not like the snow.
No, not those tires. Sounds good.
Yeah. Got up to 180.
Okay, back from a successful test drive. I'm gonna put the air cleaner on. That's gonna finalize everything under the hood, and then we'll just have to put the hood on and hook up the mufflers. Test drive complete. Mufflers are hooked back up. Hood's back on. It's running good. It's going home tomorrow. So thank you for watching Dan's Messy Garage. This is going to be the end of episode 25, 71 Comet GT. Please stay tuned to my channel for future projects. Bye.